And welcome on in, everyone.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you all to the Hello LLC. And if you don't know, Hello stands for Helping Entrepreneurs Leverage Leading Web3 Optimizations. And more importantly, you guys are in our special podcast, Getting Naked, where it's unfiltered, uncensored, unstoppable. It's a real, raw, authentic conversation. And more importantly, it is hashtag AF. And baby, what does that stand for?
Funny as fuck.
And so we encourage you guys to buckle up, buttercups, because this conversation is definitely not going to be the traditional conversation that we have, especially with today's episode 1 of our brand new season 3. We are back, Jack, and we are back better than ever. We are in the metaverse from your cell phone, from your laptop, from your iPad, and more importantly, your VR headsets. And today we're going to be having an amazing conversation of the BS business owners do not tell you, but we're going to talk about it today for sure. And definitely, as we share more about our business and more about us, love, let's share with the people, who we are as David and Tara as the Hello LLC. So I'll let you begin first, love.
Well, my name is Tara. I'm 5'11". I'm a white Oh, not like that. Gotcha. Okay.
No, not that part. No.
Not
No, no.
not my dating profile, right?
No, not that one. Not that one.
Gotcha. Oh, well, you guys, hello. I am Tara. I am, by the way, a little small podunk farm town in Idaho where cows outnumber humans 10 to 1. Used to. They probably still do. But anyways, so small podunk, moved to Houston, Texas, met my amazing significant other, Mr. Jones, sitting here next to me. And now we're digital entrepreneurs and we get to travel the world. And currently we are in Guanajuato, Mexico, which is central Mexico, just above Mexico City, a few hours. And so what I would share, is I spent 22 plus years in corporate America, every level from just inside the door as a receptionist to all the way up to the C-level executive office, and learned a lot of lessons in between there and thought to myself, why am I not doing this for myself? And it thrusted us on our journey. And I would say the biggest thing that I will, I love is outside of our business is just to be with people I love, doing things that I enjoy to do and helping others and animals. And so that's a little bit about me, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I love it when you say podunk. And then when people look at you like, no way, not you, not the potato place. And, it's crazy that, hearing the story about, how you grew up and then even being in Houston, it's been several places that we've lived by each other or been within each other's presence, with being on Highway 6, being in the A-Leaf area, when you did move here, my parents being there, and, a little bit more about, myself, especially, being from Houston, Texas, born and raised, got a full ride scholarship, to a college, played played 4 years there, and then, more importantly, moved back home and started in the corporate world where literally within 1 year, I became, a vice president of an organization to where I then moved from LA to LA from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then was able to move back home. And similar to, your situation, our situation together as we fast forward, it was really to where my boss told me, hey, I would really like for you not to take that flight back home when it was $150 change fee when I just spent, $1,200, on a dinner out the night beforehand with just me and two other people. And really at that point, we were both overweight, just living our for the weekend and just doing crazy, stupid shit that, wasting our time, and especially looking back on it now, not regretting, but really reflecting on our ultimate goal is, what we talk about is time. Time
Yeah.
is our only competition. And that's something that, throughout our 8 years of being in business, which, 32% of businesses don't make it throughout that first, 5 years because they run out of money and so many other reasons that happen. And here we are 8 years into it, moved away from home, People called us crazy. People thought we were stupid. People thought, everything up underneath the moon. And here it is,
Was,
we've been able.
did, they still do. What you talking about?
Facts. Facts, and that's some of the things that we're going to talk about today, right? Is just, some of the top five things is, work life balance, balance of an entrepreneur, the lack of support. And then, more importantly, protecting your ass, your terms and conditions, and then, failure and rejection. There is no such thing that we talk about that. And most importantly, the technical debt. And those are going to be five areas that we're really going to touch base on. But I really think, people need to know, how we started this business, after, sharing a little bit more about who we are individually and us now being together, 14 years, going on 14 years, just celebrating our,
Just
our,
started
our
our
anniversary.
14th year.
Yeah. And it started out with a bang, for sure, and this is where, we're going to have deep conversations. And before we even get started, we want you guys to know, this podcast is going to be real, raw, authentic. Tara and I might get on in a fight in this damn podcast just because somebody might say something, right?
Somebody might
That was
just
unsolved.
disappear all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
And so, fortunately, the good thing is that this is a metaverse and you can't really see our facial expressions yet, with this metaverse, but we definitely
Well,
are
when you've
going
been with
to,
someone for 14 years, I think you know what their facial expression is tied behind what they're saying.
yeah,
You know.
that part. But for the guests, you don't know what the hell you're going to get, during this damn conversation. I can assure you of that. And
Yeah,
so as we always say, buckle up, buttercups. Let's get this party rocking and rolling.
it's at the end of the day, this is an outlet for David and I to be able to share more and in a more authentic way about the the woes, the ins and outs of life as entrepreneurs. And so that might include our personal relationship that we talk about. That might include the business side. It might be include, interactions that we've had with, people, whether they were clients or not non-clients, family, friends. It's just going to be an all. And so it will definitely have adult language. So if you got kids around, put your headphones in because we will probably definitely be dropping the F-bomb a few times. It's just the fact of it's our creative outlet to kind of share these experiences. And what we have found, because on our other platforms, we're very professional, very polished. We keep the F-bombs to the minimum. But this is an outlet where we can be completely unfiltered, respectful, but unfiltered. But what we have found is many of our community, whether they're clients or not clients, have shared with us stories that are very similar to this. And they asked, do you guys go through this? And so David and I were like, well, let's bring this, our season three, get our season three going on our podcast. And let's talk about some of those things on the ins and outs of what people don't get to see, kind of behind the scenes a little bit. Talk about that. So yeah, back to you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and not only that, when you talk about cursing, it blows my damn mind that when people hear somebody curse or say something, that might not agree with them, you go to their house and you be a fly on the wall. They're cussing up a storm, cussing out their kids, cussing out the significant other. Don't let an argument happen. But yet, we get so shy when it's, out in the public, and we hear Gary V cursing. We hear so many, should I say, influencers curse, and it's different strokes for different folks, and we get it. Look,
Mm-hmm.
this is who we are. This is what we do, and we still carry the same love, the same kindness, the same integrity. But we gonna keep it real. The other day,
We
we
might
were
call
doing
you a
our social.
motherfucker, but we still love you.
Yeah, it's a person, place, or thing. Like Bernie Mac said. You seen that motherfucking Johnny? Tell that motherfucking Johnny he owe me $20 motherfucking. And I called his motherfucking mama the other day, and his motherfucking mama act like she didn't know what the fuck was going on, and she better be glad I didn't cuss her motherfucking ass out. And so that's just a little piece of what you're gonna get. Bernie Mac said it. A person, place, a thing. So that's what we're gonna say. Those of you that have watched
Go
Kings of
check
Comedy,
out
you are
Kings of
probably
Comedy.
laughing your
Yep.
ass off right now. But I know I didn't say it in the whole entire 52 MFs that he said, but this is really what it is. It's the real, raw, authentic conversations, and it's going to be shit that me and Tara have went through, and that we have conversations with people, whether, like Tara said, their family or not. But what started this all, really, was when Tara and I were both corporate level, making six figures a piece, and living our lives the way that we thought that we were living the best way, just stuck in the pattern, living for the weekend. And my health was completely out of whack, and we started in this thing called network marketing. And people laughed, people joked. I mean, my own father told me I was begging, joined and bailed out, and family and friends did the same thing. And the crazy thing about network marketing is that people say they want different, but they won't do different. And then they'll talk about how bad network marketing is, but yet their asses didn't show up for no trainings, didn't show up for none, didn't learn anything, tried to do it their way, and
They
then
bought
wondered
the
why it
gym
didn't work.
membership, but they never went to the gym.
That part, right? You want to make millions of dollars, but you don't want to show up for the 30-minute training while your ass is sitting there on the couch watching American Idol or watching Power or Empower at that time, talking about I'm busy. And so it just blows our minds that people talk about they want to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. And it takes
But hold
sacrifices.
up.
And that,
When you
yeah.
say that, we were the same motherfuckers doing the same thing.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were
We were
not willing to
broke-minded
make the
like a motherfucker.
sacrifice. We wanted to go to heaven, but we weren't ready to die either. So,
Yeah. Facts.
we get it
Facts.
when we see it. We totally understand it. It frustrates us, but we understand it.
Yeah. Oh, it frustrates us even more now, especially those friends that we have, look back on and went after and talked to, and they said that they wanted to do something, and they're still doing the same thing. And now, even more importantly, some of those friends are now doing network marketing when we encourage them to do it then, but now they're coming at us asking us to do it. And it's like, whoa, 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 time out. Do you not remember, 5, 6, 7 years ago that we did the
Yeah.
same thing? But, as we want to keep to the topic, right, love, work balance or hold on, we really didn't go too deep into, starting the business. We jumped into network marketing. What was your thought process when, we started the business? When Casey came into the house, we said yes to network marketing. And within the first month, we blew it out of the park. What was your thought process then to what it is now?
Well, good question. The first thought process was, hell yes, let's do this because let's create another additional income that comes into the household so we can get away from the dependability that we have on corporate America to pay the bills, right? Because at that point, it was all about the money, 100% about the money.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was how much money can we make, the faster the better. And it was 100% about making money. I mean, it was important to help people because you and I are just people that like to help. Like that was important to us. But if there was money associated to it, let's go, right? And
Yeah.
so that was definitely the beginning of the thought process of let's just, as we say, spray and pray. If you were a walking, living human being in front of us, you were going to get, approached about information or what you want to do something about your
Oh, you
health.
got high blood
And
pressure?
it was
Oh, you dealing with this? Oh, you dealing with that? I got you.
I gotcha. I gotcha, player. Let's do this. And um and
Somebody
our
posting a picture of
intentions,
fast food, you can be eating healthier, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We all of a sudden became like these health like gurus overnight, And look, it was really important because our health was failing, and if we didn't do what we did, our health would have been. I mean, we wouldn't be here probably,
No,
or we'd be
especially
very,
me.
very, on a bunch of prescription medication. So, was it beneficial for the fact of ourselves? Yes. Did we probably push a lot of people away because people just can't deal with that? As we learned, people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to talk about what's going on in their health. They don't want to talk about, their high blood pressure or their diabetes or anything. They don't want to talk about that. It's easier to be able to mitigate it the way that they have it mitigated and move on with life, right? They've learned to live with it and move on. They don't want to get it better. Um, because it's just out of the comfort zone, right? So
and
was it beneficial
and
to
if I
us?
may, and
Absolutely.
and if I may, real quick, it wasn't even much about the diabetes, about the heart failure, all those things. It was just the energy. It was just
Yeah.
the feeling. It was about the unhappiness. It was just about the ugh. At some point, even one time, hey, go out and get drunk and have this superfood pouch, and people didn't much
Yeah.
want to listen to that. It seemed like anytime anything talked about health, just people didn't want to hear about it, especially, at that point we were in our early 30s. And at that point, I mean, nobody cared about it, but compared to
No,
now.
yeah, exactly. And health had not been, our MO for a long time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so when we started our business from that angle, yeah, there's so many things that we could have done differently, but there's so many great things that came out of it.
Hmm.
The confidence that it built in us, we were already realized we were doing a job in corporate America. We had careers in corporate America. We realized like, what the fuck? Why are we building for someone else when we can build for ourselves? And that's really where about a couple years into it, the mind shift happened into um, building a products and service menu that really does help people. And because what happened was we were solving our own problems. We were in, network marketing, with the whole reason people get into network marketing is because well, not the whole reason, but a lot of people that are smart that like to allocate and utilize and leverage other systems know that if you are in network marketing, then you're just leveraging corporate system. Like they've already built the system for you. They already do the shipping. They already do the collection. You get the customer in the door, you get the commission, right? They do everything else in between: the shipping, the handling, the terms and conditions, the upset clients, the happy clients, whatever, right? And so in that manner, what we realized was with the network marketing company we were at, there was systems that were like, well, if they just had this, it would be easier for people to be able to dissect and get this information and, check it out. And so because we started solving our own technical problem in network marketing, we birthed a solution of a product, I mean, a list of products and services that started to help other entrepreneurs like us. In that moment, network marketing entrepreneurs. But an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. And most entrepreneurs, as we figured out, don't have their systems in place. And that's where we started realizing, after we solved our problems, building our system and all of that, that we're like, we could do this for other people because we know how to do it. This is what we've done for, 20 plus years through our corporate experience, because of course, you do one thing, but there's a lot of other things that you learn in a career, right? And through that evolvement and or evolution, we just realized that we, kind of, I say it was about the money in the beginning, and now it's about helping people and watching people, for instance, like one of our guests here tonight is Miss Roberta, not nothing, but it wasn't organized in a nice package and manner and system that it is now. And to watch that evolution, right? Those things, yes, there's money associated to it. Yes, we get paid for our services, but it's not all about, I need the money and to hell with you, to hell with what your needs are. And for instance, like today, one of our pivot members, had a one-on-one, a 60-minute one-on-one with us today. And 3 hours into that phone call, we finally wrapped up and finished that phone call because it was teaching her something and we needed to slow down to speed up. And it took a little while to make sure she understood how to do it herself because she wanted to learn herself, right? So it comes down to going the extra mile now, making sure that our clients are loved and cared for, and as we say, being able to feed themselves. Like, we'll fish to feed you, but we're also going to teach you to fish during the same time so you can feed yourself. Because if David and I and Hello LLC gets ran over by a beer truck, you're up the shit creek without a paddle, as my parents used to tell me. And so it's just being mindful about, not mindful, it's just being when you ask that question, looking back at it and listening and kind of seeing how the evolution of where we started and where we are now, and how easy it was, but how so hard it's been, if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does, and even hearing you share that, when we started our business, and this is why I share with people, I didn't know shit, technology, hell no, email, text message, phone call, that's it. I'm the person that speaks because in my C-level corporation job, I was the go-getter. I was going out clients and meeting with clients and doing that stuff. I would have a team behind me that would do all the rest of the razzle dazzle stuff, but I was the talker. The technical stuff, forget about it. And when we started, we understood the essence of being able to utilize social media. We understood, like, the first time doing our live, our live. I don't know if you remember this, love. We were at a network marketing training
Mm-hmm.
in Houston, and the lady literally said, "Well, hey, I need you to go live.
Yep, up on
I
the
need you to
roof.
go live right now." And oh my God, I was shaking in my
We were
motherfucking boots.
also
I was like,
scared.
hell no. Yeah. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna do? My hair. I don't have my towel with me to wipe my head off. And I went live that first time, and holy shit, it was like a liberation of just letting go and being free. And we just kept doing it. And we got more views and more people came and started talking to us. And some people stayed, some people went. Some people, we paid for them to move like $5,000 into their house and asked them to just help us out, and they went skedaddles. And so just
There was a
character
few of those
of,
people.
yeah, character of how people really are at the end of the day. And that's something that we'll talk about throughout this season as well, is how shitty people are. I mean, people are really shitty. And me and Tara have this conversation all the time. We understand that when people make it to a certain level, why they are the way they are, because people have shitted on them and taken their kindness for weakness when you're trying to help them out, but then yet they just poof, ninja smoke
Shitty
on
would
your
be
ass.
equivalent to selfish.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's just a
Yeah.
shitty character in itself. Especially when they tell you, I won't do this, I'm going to do that, I want to do this, or these are the same friends that you might have sweated tears and blood with out on the football field, or in class, or at a bonfire, or at a work event. That people tell you, oh, I'm all in it, and then they're poofing to the wind. Prime example, just a little tip. When people introduce themselves getting a new job on LinkedIn, you get hundreds of congratulations, this, that, and the other. You got a brand new business. Who's that?
Who
And it's like
dis?
crickets. Yeah, who this? And so, when we started our business, and me not knowing anything about technical, about posting, about, I was horrible at writing. Everything that we do now, I was absolutely horrible at. And this is where I literally just made the shift and made the change. And as you shared, Tara, earlier, just people weren't where we were at. When we started our business, we were on the verge of being gone, cadaddles, not together. And we went through a whole entire mindset course for ourselves that our family, our friends didn't want to be a part of at all. And it blows me away even now that without that course, without that event, where would we be? And those people that we did invite to that event and they did not decide to go. I even paid for one of my friends to go and he still didn't go to it. I wonder if they look at us now and be like, dang, I should have probably went to that course, or I probably should have made a shift. And that's what blows me away even more, that
I'll
now that
answer that question.
know,
They'll say no.
come on,
It'll be no.
come on.
It'll be no, because until we are the mega, millionaire, billionaire, trillionaires, until you have the quote unquote money to show,
Hmm.
not saying that, but just saying the success of money that people, um, put so much emphasis on, that's
Hmm.
when it'll be the, oh, but we have success now, and because we're not standing on the stage like Tony Robbins, nope, you haven't made it yet.
And the crazy thing is, baby, is Tony Robbins did an event about 2 months ago, and we played it in our Hello Plaza. And by verbatim, this dude was spitting out the same exact facts, the same exact things that Tara and I have been talking about for the last year. And we're
Yep.
like, has this motherfucker been in our helpful how-to Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
And we're not people who
And
consume Tony Robbins content hardly ever.
no,
I mean, we like him,
hardly ever. I
but
mean, yeah,
we yeah, we have nothing against it. We just don't. It's not like on replay in our house.
no, it's not. I mean, the same foundation that he started at, is where we started. But
Yeah.
no, it was just the meaning of it was just the craziness that people will listen to these people that do have this name behind them, but just people like us will say the same exact thing, and we get no, nothing. And although, let me make sure we're very fucking crystal clear on this statement, followers do not equal fucking dollars. Okay. I could care two shits about any followers. Prime example, Tara has a post out right now that we posted, and it has 44,000 damn views. She's gained 127 new followers. It has like over 1,800, almost 2,000 damn likes. Not
And guess
one
how
of
much
those
money we got
people,
from that?
zero, not a damn
Zero.
dime, not a dime.
So we tell you guys this because they have sold you guys a bill of goods.
Yeah, which is a crazy thing. So, as we move on to the first one, right, love, what would we say about, our work balance? And don't be bullshitting either. This is supposed to be real, raw, and authentic. So come on.
So when we started business and part of our upline, our mentor team was married couples and that were in business together, as network marketers. And one of the things that they would always say is to make sure that you're taking time, intentional time, to still have family time, couple time, whatever it is, date night, whatever it is. Like, when you get up and go to a job at 8 a.m. in the morning or whatever and come home at 5, 6 o'clock at night, in the evening, are you talking about your business, what you did at work all day? More often than not, you're just leaving that shit at the door and, going to veg out or hang out, whatever you do in the evenings, right? Weekends, the same thing. Your evenings and your weekends become your time. And a lot of times people spend that with their significant other doing things or their family doing things, yada, 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 right? So for us, owning a business, in the beginning, we both still worked corporate America positions. So,
Yeah.
so when we were not working our corporate positions, we were building our business. So we made a choice when we started network marketing that we were not going to be out every Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night like we used to be, partying and doing all that stuff, that we would, stop and pour into our business. So there was many times where on Friday nights, we used to be out and about, till 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes watch the sun come up. And now we would be 3, 4, or 5 o'clock and we would be going through Chacho's drive-through, owning our business because we were building our business, right? And we would laugh about how things changed. Well, the balance, we lost balance for a long time. I'll say that, right? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
we were so gun-hoed on building our business that was our time together, was building our business. And something that we said from the very beginning when we started our business was, we will not let our business, and at that point it was network marketing, tear this relationship apart. If it's not working for the both of us, then we will stop or we'll figure out a different resolution.
That was a
And
lie.
well, that has come around multiple times where we've had to check ourselves and go, hey, we're not putting up boundaries in our business for our personal life. And it wasn't up until probably 2 years ago when we became digital entrepreneurs and
Yeah.
left, the States, maybe even up into the last year to 2 years, that we
Well, this
finally
was right after the
realized,
pandemic too. So there was really, it
well,
was
that
kind
too.
of like a perfect time. And as we shared with people, it happened to us, but it happened for us
For
at the
us,
same
yes.
time.
Yeah.
right?
Well, that too. The pandemic really shelved us at home. But what I was going to finish up with was, and then I'll pass this back over to you, is a simple
Are you
fact
good?
that when, that balance is when we finally both had a breaking point of we have been focused on the business 100% of the time. It is
Yeah.
eat, sleep, drink, the business. We wake up, we talk
Yeah.
about the business. We don't talk about
$400 a
dreams.
week in Uber Eats.
Yeah, exactly. We spent thousands of dollars.
$2,000,
Like, I think it would be
$3,000
like
a month.
$1,000 to $2,000 a week in Uber Eats because we wouldn't be cooking.
Yeah.
We would just literally spend all of our time building and doing our business. And we would just be like, we had a maid, we had all this. And we looked at each other when we finally decided to leave the States and sell everything was, our overhead was like, $4,000 to $5,000 depending on any given month with, groceries and Uber Eats and bills and all that. And we were looking at each other going, all right, at that point when we let, David had already chosen to leave and retire from corporate America. I was on the verge of it, but it was like, why are we doing all this just to keep a roof over our head when we could, sell all this shit? And that's when 2020 came down the pipeline. When we need two cars, we had two cars that sat in a driveway paying, $1,200 a month on for nothing. We didn't go anywhere during COVID for a year,
Shit, we
And
drove
so
down. We drove
my
down
point
to the
being
taco
is
stand and came back home with
that
a
was it.
margarita.
Or we would go to the ocean. That was about it. Yeah. Or
Or
drive
go
down to
visit
the
mom and
ocean.
dad. Go
Yep.
go fishing. Go golfing. And
But
that was it.
and that's it. And that's what I'm trying to share is that the simple point is that we realized about a year and a half, 2 years ago in that time frame that we had to put boundaries up on our personal relationship and take intentional times, go out on dates, say, hey, we're not talking about business right now. Or if the other person's like burnt out and doesn't want to, needs to chill out or have some downtime. Hey, can we park this until another time? Yeah, it's not urgent. Cool. Let's park it.
I don't
We've
think that. I
allotted
don't think that's exactly how the shit goes. I get the fucking eye, and it's like, don't fucking talk to me.
about
Some
that,
candy cane
yeah,
shit.
because at that part, you're getting on my ever-loving fucking nerve, and I'm like, leave me. I'm out. That's why, like last night, I came over to you and I was like, do you need anything else before I shut my laptop down? Because once my laptop's down, I'm done. And you're like,
Game over, homie. Let me think about it.
No, I don't think so. And I know that you thought about that for a long time after I walked away to go, shit, do I need anything before she shuts that shit down?
I did though. I did because when you woke up this morning at the biz in the box, I needed to have some changes on it. And I needed that
wrote that
night.
shit in
And
your tablet real quick, didn't you?
Yep, I damn sure did. Don't do it.
Look,
but no, you're so spot on, right? And I mean, did you finish? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, this basically at the end of the day is we have to we figured out boundaries. And sometimes, look, guys, I'm going to tell you, David and I talk very, very direct to each other, like, hey, motherfucker, where's this at? And we, because we've been together for so long, it's a term. Well, yes, and we can have that conversation, but this topic tonight is not about personal relationships in full detail. Like that's another episode I thought since I was told. But anyway, we will joke like that when we're in a joking manner. It's a different thing when there's an upset going on between people that you're like, hey, motherfucker, and that doesn't really land so well when you're a little testy and pissed off at each other or, on your nerves. But I want to say this. I'm going to let you answer, and then I have a question for you. So let's do it that way. Let you go ahead, and then I got a question for you.
Well, no, I think you answered. I mean, you definitely went over your damn minute that we talked about. So just FYI.
Oh, well, shit, my bad.
So we gonna move on to the next
years,
one.
Mr. Jones. Are you just now figuring out that I can't make
I try to give you a fucking warning, like, hey, look, we're gonna go through these 5 things, and you got a minute. And I literally look at you and like give you the eye, and it's like,
hey, guess what?
What?
You got some nice shoes on in this avatar. I just noticed that. Oh, nice,
I appreciate you.
Okay.
Appreciate
Back
you.
to what you were saying. My bad.
Thank you. Anyhow, you see how yeah, this is the shit right there. That. Anyhow, so
My question
when
for
we
you.
talk about boundary, okay,
Oh,
yeah, go to your questions. See, this is how that shit works.
well,
Go ahead.
it's on the same boundaries because then you're going to be
Yep.
able to wrap it up, right?
Okay.
This is that shit I be
Mm-hmm.
talking about, is what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Go ahead.
so in the realm of the question that you asked me, in addition to answering that, how do we solve upsets between each other? Like, if we're upset at each other, how does business get done? How does life continue without David and Tara who want to throw each other over the balcony? And by the way, it happens. Not throwing each other over the balcony, but the
Oh,
upsets.
I was like, oh, can that happen, please? And,
In
no,
Metaverse,
but
yeah, I could pick your ass up and throw you. No, I'm kidding. I wish I could. I wish you were. I wish there was
uh,
the ability to do that.
well, it is taken multiple tries, multiple attempts, multiple times of the months, multiple upsets and traumas and dramas and all this shit to try to figure this shit out. And it's really just comes down to just being patient with one another and remembering the ultimate goal. And as we continuously share, time is our only competition, and that's why I get so damn mad at you when you do your shit and I do my shit, that it's time. And I don't care how long it takes us to get it done, just as long as we don't waste time. And when we do have these miscommunications and these ineffective ways of how we communicate and the nonverbal, that not only we deal with, but everybody deals with, especially when we talk about these things on a daily basis compared to most people that don't have the conversations we have, right? Um, it it really just takes self-control, which is why we talk about it so much, because we're more so talking to ourselves. And I'll just speak for myself, right? When I share with you guys, you got to be aware of how you react and what you say, and your words carry weight, internally and externally, and that you have to believe. Um, it really, takes us to settle down and not bring up the past and not hold grudges, and stick to, what's at play, and really just take ownership.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. And one of our great mentors that we met, starting our network marketing business, Casey Salgi, he always shares, do you want to be rich or do you want to be right? And there's so many times that we want to be right, and righteous and prideful and stubborn and ego, that it gets in our way. And our business has definitely suffered in some aspects when we have got into an argument. But I think now, being in business for 8 years, we've tend to got a lot better at them, and a lot of the times people can't even much tell. So that's how I would answer that question.
Oh, look, let's be real. There's been times that we're live in rooms or we're live hosting events and David and I don't want to fucking talk to each other. I don't want, it's just, but it's cordial. It's professional. It's like just pass the mic on. Here you go. It's not taking pot shots at each other in conversations. It's strictly professional at that point, because at that moment, it is our livelihood. And it is our brand and it is who we are. And we have our own personal traumas and dramas that we're still healing through and getting those cleaned out and, healed up. And what happens is that, before, it's not always been that way. My greatest gift of when I got pissed off was, well, fine, fuck you. You can do all this shit by yourself. You don't know technical? Well, then let's see you since you know everything, or whatever attitude or ego that was behind it was, throw your hands up and walk away. And that's what I did a
Yeah,
lot of
she's
times.
left
And
my
it,
ass several
it is,
times with my hand up my ass trying to do technical shit because she's been mad.
yep, many times. Well, you only learn when you get thrown into sink or swim. You'll swim or you'll drown. Which one you want it to be? Sorry. It's at the end of the day, it's just it is, and
Anyhow, we've spent
David and
30
I,
minutes speaking about this one topic, lady.
let's go on.
Let's keep
so,
this party
so
rocking and
boundaries,
rolling.
yes. Boundaries
Yeah,
is how we keep
boundaries.
that balance. Yes.
So the next one that we want to talk about, is lack of support.
Oh,
And Tara, I know we know that everybody knows that people have to understand you're not going to get the damn support that you want. We just
Ah,
had
fuck
one of
them.
our clients, yeah, we just had one of our clients today, share with us, hey, people don't support me. I've lost so many friends. I said, welcome to the motherfucking party. If you're not losing friends, then you're not doing shit.
You ain't doing it
And
right.
straight up, you ain't doing it right. I know I have a story. Tara has a story, multiple stories, family, non-supportive, and just the other day, my
Family
mom
that
was
has
saying,
their own business. Hold up. David has some cousins, y'all. David has some
yeah,
cousins that have businesses. And when we had our business, before they had theirs, when we had our business, when we started our business, we came to them. We were sharing with them. They were interested. Share more, this, that, and the other. Okay, so they decided they didn't want to do anything. They never told you they didn't want to do anything. They just disappeared. They just fucking went ghost.
or the
Then
crazy thing, they say they will do it. They say they will do
that's
it.
what I'm
Just say
saying.
fucking
That's what
no.
I'm
Just say
saying.
no.
They said they would, and then they ghost you. That's exactly what I was trying to say. If that wasn't clear, my bad. But what I was trying to share is a couple years later, then one cousin opens up her business, and it's baked goods or something like that. Then another cousin, a couple years after that, opens up her business. I don't remember what that is, but it's amazing that then David's mom goes to a family function, and they're like, oh, Auntie Martha, buy that, buy this, support me here, support that. And she shared that with us, and we said, well, where the fuck were they when we asked for support? You're over here buying everything. Where the fuck were they wanting to support us when we were asking for the support? But now you want our support, or you want my mom's support?
and it
It
wasn't,
is
and it wasn't, and
amazing.
the crazy thing is, it wasn't even bullshit. It was for your health at that point. A lot of people don't know that, well, the network marketing that we started in was with wellness. That's our Hello Wellness side. And then we
Mm-hmm.
went over and we start building our biz in a box, right? Our our nieces and nephews and everybody had the business, and we showed them their biz in a box. Didn't want that. We then also introduced, solar and electricity. Nobody wanted to do that. Hell, I tried to get my parents to sign up for solar, and they pushed my ass off. All of a sudden, the neighbor got solar. Now, all of a sudden, they were all about it, and literally were about to go, get solar with somebody else, and they still haven't got solar after telling me they were going to go with solar. So, this is just, some instances. I'm telling the truth,
They
so they can
ain't
come after
shit.
me all they want to, but this is where we keep it real and
Hey,
raw. And
hey,
I
guess
mean,
what?
what's up? What's
Have
up?
a Coke and a smile.
Stop it. Anyhow, um, this is where we share with you guys all that please stop worrying about friends, stop worrying about family, because those same friends and family that haven't supported you, they're not going to support you. And so often what stops you from doing things in your business is because of that mentality that you're worried about those same people that aren't doing anything to support you. And so don't worry about if they're sharing. Don't worry about if they're liking. Don't worry if they're not, buying your products. And even more importantly, your ass better turn that shit around and ask yourself, what are you doing to support
That
everybody?
part.
Because people talk
That part.
about, oh, I want a community. Oh, I want to collaborate. But they asses don't even much know how to do it themselves. But they talking about it because it's a pitchy word right now. It's all the words that people want to talk about: collaboration, authenticity. But your ass don't even much know how to spell the shit, let alone do it consistently, and not just come on stage, not just talk about it when it matters, but actually do it when it counts. And that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing that we share with people about having their business, is that you got to give what you want. And a lot of the times people expect people to like their shit or do this, that, and the other. Prime example in this damn room, right? Right now, we got one damn person that showed up, to come watch us live. And we got multiple amount of customers that we've showed up to their shit. But now, or we've answered their question, Johnny, on the spot, or, we've been there and done extra shit for them. But where's it reciprocated? Prime example, that fact alone. And so this is the real raw, authentic, shit that we talk about that most people won't talk about, but we're going to
It's
call
a
it to the
lonely road,
forefront.
man.
It's a
It's a
lonely
lonely
damn
road.
road. And even especially for a person that doesn't have a significant other like me and Tara, we're in this together. There's been multiple times that we've had clients, people, friends, where one person was trying to build and the other person was being a damn slug or a damn hater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking shit about the other person trying to get better, as we all get, when we have those friends that don't want to support or they like other people's shit, this, that, and the other. And so it really, you can tell this topic gets us going. And a lot of the times what
Because
stops, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was just
Oh,
going to say because our love
yeah, go ahead.
language is words of affirmation, and part of words
Yeah,
of affirmation is support, and that's our
yeah,
love language. And so when people don't
yeah.
do it and we had to learn this thing called unexpected expectations.
hmm the four agreements. That was one of the books that definitely helped us out a lot, that we would recommend to anybody that's starting a business or thinking about having a business, especially now. Your ass better be having a business, because these jobs aren't playing. This AI and robotics, people say it's not taking your jobs, but it's going to put a little dent in it if your ass don't have a job for 6 to 7 months while you're trying to retool, trying to re-strategize, or find something else, when you could be, doing it right now by turning your passion into profits, by having something that can replace your cell phone bill, your light bill, your energy bill. It blows my mind when I look at these fellas out here, especially guys. I'm going to just be real. These dudes ain't doing shit out here. Ladies, I feel sorry for you, because 98% of our clients are women, and they're kicking ass and taking names. And every time I speak to a guy, talks about their business, wants to do something about their business, they ain't doing shit. Flat
Well, and
out.
most of our clients are single women at that, to be very frank.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it just it
You got
it's
silent? I
just
know your ass can get silent. Come on. I know you got
no.
a
I
story
just
about lack of support.
no. I just didn't want to. I didn't wasn't sure if you were done, so I was just
I'm
commenting, and
done.
then
I'm
okay.
done. Because I might flip this damn stage upside down talking about
Oh
lack of
Lord.
friend support. After all,
Well,
hold on. No, I'm not done. I know I'm not done. After all the damn alcohol, after all the valet, after all the
thousands
birthday
of dollars.
parties and presents. I mean, literally, for one of my friends, I brought this dude's wedding shoes for all his groomsmen to the damn wedding, and poof, gone. Business adventure that we've done. And that in itself, it just blows my mind that these are the same people that sit there and you drink with, you go out with, and they say they got your back. And the moment it's time to collect, they are out the damn window. And that's just one of many that I know I have on my list, from all the way from college football to now, where I've been taking care of people, going out, putting money in their pocket, feeding them. And who am I? And it's not the oh, you got to do it for me. It's the simple fact that you said you would do it,
Yeah.
right? You said you would do it, and you didn't do it. And you already know who the fuck I am, that if I say I'm gonna do some shit, I'm gonna do it. And I expect the same shit from you. I lay the expectations out the gate when we're friends, and I tell you how it is, just like we're sitting here now.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to add on to that is, you know, we will just go down the line. Our parents, they have not fully supported us. Now, what I tell David is there are people out there that don't know how to support. They don't realize that pushing the thumbs up button on a social media post that they scroll right past will makes us feel good, right? They don't understand that that digital currency, that the 2 seconds it took you to push the button on a social media post, is all we're asking for. It'd be great if you shared it too, but you don't got to do that. We're not asking you to buy anything from us. These are people that have said they will support. They haven't. That's fine. But it's also people that you have expectations to support you, like family. And you have to realize real quick that they love you and they want you to do good, but really they don't know how to support you. I talk about like my mom and my brother, I talk about David's parents, his mom and dad and his sister, they're all of those entities, my nephew, who's an adult, they they don't push the like button on our social media at all. And they like our personal posts. Like if we're walking through town and we take a picture of each other or we take a picture of the town, they'll like those posts. But if it's business related, where you guys see our business, posts, they don't like them. And that hurts. It has hurt from day one. We don't say shit because at the end of the day, it is just like barking up a tree. It's an older, some of it's an older generation thing. Others, it's just lack of awareness that, what it would be really nice. So David and I just, accept it now. We have learned through the 8 years of being in business that those are unexpected expectations that we have of our family, our immediate family. And we're not even talking about cousins or any of that. We're talking about the immediate family that we talk to on a regular basis. It's not like we're estranged from our family. We are David and I are very close to both of our sides of our family. We can call them right now and have an hour, 2 hour conversation with any one of them. But the point being is, it hurts. And we've just had to learn that those are unexpected expectations and let them go, right? My mom always makes the comment when I call her, and she'd be like, oh, I was wondering when you're going to call me. I'm like, the phone goes both ways, Mom. And she's like, I know. I just don't ever know when you kids are busy. And I know you work all the time, so I don't want to interrupt you. So what I have had to learn out of the 42 years that this July, I'll be 42, the 42 years on this planet, is that my mom's support is by getting the hell out of the way and leaving you alone. And that's been from day one. Like when I played sports, my mom was not a helicopter mom. She didn't show up to, my sports games because at the end of the day, she was busy working, putting a roof over my head. And I understood that. And so I was cool with it. But I've had to understand those ways of support, and that is their support. But as humans, David and I, our love language, we just want it differently, that doesn't even talk about friends. One of the biggest thing I'll share with you guys that just, look, I said this in a post the other day that we posted on our social media, but our business is our baby, you know. A baby is, obviously needs TLC 24/7. When they're obviously a newborn, you're feeding them, you're, taking care of everything, cleaning them, feeding them, consoling them, protecting them, all of that, right? It's the same thing that we do in our business. If we have a client that pings us in the middle of the night and it's an urgent issue, we're up and on it. If we have somebody or something that's, super urgent, we're in the middle of it trying to take care of it right then and there. Our business is our baby. And what blows me away is that I have a handful of friends. Some of them are mutual friends of David's and I. Some of them are friends from my side. But they have all many of them in the 14 years that Dave and I have been together went from single to engaged to married to getting pregnant to having a baby to a baby's first birthday, second birthday. Oh, we're having another baby, another, birthday. And we've went through all these celebrations with friends, right? And those celebrations mean that we showed up 9 times out of 10, we were part of the planning committee or the hosting committee or did it all. So a lot of work, a lot of money went into hosting baby showers and bridal showers and bachelorette parties and bachelor parties and all of this shit that we do for all of these celebrations. And the reason why I said our baby, our business is our baby is because when we went into business, it was like our friends, who were not yet having babies at that moment or were, they were just getting
No,
married
they
and
had
they,
kids.
some of them did, some of them did not.
Some of them
My
did.
point being, yeah, some of them did, some did not. My point being is that it was like, what? You had a baby? Oh, fuck it. I don't want to see your newborn. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want
Yeah.
nothing because it was a business. It wasn't a real baby to them. But when they got pregnant, when we had baby showers, when we had, birth showers, of, oh, the baby's here. Let's have a party, oh, let's, cook a bunch of meals for you for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So that way you don't have to, worry about that as being a new mom. It's all of that shit. All of that where you've shown up and you've done more than fucking paid money. You've taken care of people. You've helped people. And what do they do as friends? I have a best friend who has done this. They shit on you. I have a best friend, well, ex-best friend, because I mean, at this point, I don't really fuck with her, is because at the end of the day, she will go out there. We've been friends for 20 plus years. She'll go out there. She'll repost about her cousins, her nieces, her friends, other friends. This is someone who has called me her sister for 20 plus years, to her family, who has invited me to every family function. I helped plan her wedding. I helped hosted her wedding. I helped put it on and ran the wedding while she was getting married. When she had a baby, same thing. Has she ever liked one of my business posts? No. Has she ever shared one of my posts? No. Has she ever put it on her timeline to say, hey guys, go check out what my best friend's doing? No, but she can do that for all of her other friends who have candles, who have mugs that they decorate, who make t-shirts. She can do that for, her niece who does makeup and hair, but she can't do it for her best fucking friend who's her sister. That's the shit that fucking hurts. And that's what the conversation we had today with one of our clients who is going through the exact same thing, of a friend of 20 plus years who's hating on her because of what she's doing in her business, just like what we've had. And we had to sit there and tell her, yep, we know that feeling. It fucking sucks. But you can't tell that person that, because they don't get it. So you stop and go, well, if I'm not worth sharing, if my business is not worth, not even asking, ask how your business is doing. You don't like a post, we're not even asking you to buy anything. And that is what just makes my skin and David's skin crawl, because you're not friends of ours. And so we choose not to. That's why David and I chose to become digital nomads, because it's like, who the fuck are we leaving behind? These motherfuckers haven't come to see us in the 8 years of our business or asked. And it's not even about the business. When we started the business, they stopped coming around, period. Period.
Well,
we got a business,
I wouldn't say that they
we
came
can't
around.
Be period.
Stop going to their events, and it even played out, when we had a going away party, to leave to Colombia, which was the first stop that we went to. None of those friends to that event, to wish us
Only
off.
the friends that showed up were the
or
friends that we
said,
made after becoming a business owners. Sorry.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
the only friends that showed up. Fellow
And
entrepreneurs.
not only that, the same people that you're talking about will watch your storyline and watch my storyline
every day, all day.
on a daily. Like, they'll watch the storyline but won't post. So it's not like, oh, I don't see your posts. And the crazy thing is about it is that us as entrepreneurs, we all get this. You go to an event, you go to a family function, and you get that one person. Oh, girl, I see your post. I see your little post. How's everything going? Well, if you saw my shit, why didn't you like my shit? Why didn't you share my shit? What you talking about? You saw my shit. You didn't like it. And especially on TikTok, which blows my mind, you retards, we can fucking see you watching our shit. And if
Instagram,
you don't like the
TikTok,
thing
Facebook,
on
we can see it all.
Well, TikTok for sure, right? It gives a little yellow eye indicator that shows that you actually saw the shit and you didn't like the shit. And that one right there just pisses me off the most. But, moving on to our next topic, love, 1 minute conversations. Like I said, y'all, she was going to go in on this one, because that one hits home, I think, for a lot of times for business owners, because it really is it really is the encouraging go-getter, and it also is the demotivator. Yeah, it's everything.
It's your support system that fucking disappears.
Yeah, people will stop. People will stop their business because they don't get the support that they want, because they don't get the like and the kudos that they think they should get on their social media, and they're not being consistent, and they're not showing up, and they're wondering why their business isn't working, because they aren't working, number one, and they're looking in the wrong areas to grow their business, just as we did, which is why we say, don't spray and pray, which is why we say, find your target audience, which is why we share with you guys, you got to get on multiple streams, or build multiple streams of income, and multiple, different social media outlets that people tend not to listen to, which is our next topic is, going into, the terms and conditions, protecting your ass.
Protect that ass.
Protect that ass. And, as entrepreneurs, we had to learn the hard way, and we really have continued to be, sticklers with our terms and conditions, and more so valuing our time. At
Mm-hmm.
first we used to give away shit and want to beg people to do this, do that. And we got taken advantage of multiple times, multiple occasions of people just taking us to the cleaners and using us because they took our kindness for a weakness. And at some point, as business owners, you have to put your foot down and be like, you can't go to McDonald's and ask for a free supersize. And so many times people expect that free supersize because you're a small business or because you've done this, that, and the other. But there's also time that you have a life. And especially us as our business, people wonder how in the hell we get so much shit done, with it being us and maybe, some team members here and there, but 95% of it is done between me and you, and we get the shit done. And even for us being a B2B business, we understand the sacrifice. We understand the strategies and the standards and what you have to do in business. And it blows us away that other people don't hold that same line of integrity. We've had people that have tried to come into our organization and try to literally do and replicate exactly the same thing we've done. We've had people
Mm-hmm.
that have literally tried to take, our bingo night. People that have literally tried to say that they were the first, in metaverse from social media to this. I mean, we've had multiple people that have said, hey, I'll do this if you do that. And we hold our end of the bargain and they don't. And more importantly, as we talked about terms and conditions of protecting your ass and protecting your integrity, you all have to stop having a hustle and actually having a business and make sure that the expectations are laid out up front, because a lot of people have different expectations and those expectations become assumptions, and those assumptions make an ass out of you and them, and more importantly cost your ass some money, and more importantly some health at that, trying to figure out why the hell people think the way they think, and you ain't gonna figure that shit out.
Nope. Just leave it there. Yeah. At the end of the day, David has learned that I am the terms and conditions queen, and I will put paperwork on anybody's ass. And what I mean by that, at the end of the day, it's going to be in writing. If we have an agreement, we have an understanding, it's going to be in writing. It's going to be sent to you so that at the end of the day, you have it. And you can't say, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. This was a verbal agreement, and it becomes a he said, she said. Nope. It's recorded. It's written, it's documented, and it is tracked and traced, because at the end of the day, you it comes down to proving out your case. And I spent 20 plus years in corporate America having to protect myself from people saying he said, she said. And so it comes down to the end of the day. If you have an experience that happens in your business and all of a sudden you realize you have a loophole that somebody can get through, you better close it up. You better, put your terms in, adjust your terms and conditions, because if not, you will get taken advantage. And what happens is your terms and conditions is the say so. What it comes down to, well, what does your terms and conditions say? What did they agree to when they paid you the money? Because we're such a litigious community and society, it has to be like that. And so that's why at the end of the day, with us, if you're doing business with us, it's all sales are final. You know that up front. You agree to that multiple times before you pay any money, because at that point, you've hired us for a service. We're going to complete the service. Now it is upon you to get us the information that we need upon that. And we'll remind you, we'll send you emails here and there, but we're not going to, hold your hand and babysit you if you can't do that for yourself. And so terms and conditions, are really there to protect your ass. We've had, again, like David said, we've had so many people who have been, whether in our community, whether they're clients or not clients, that have taken advantage of those situations about, well, this, that, and the other. And we've had to go, well, it's right there in the terms and conditions, right? There's not anything you can do. This is another thing, like we were having a conversation with a client today, that, people stealing your work. There's nothing you can do unless, I mean, if you don't have it trademarked, and it's not like, a trademark system or something, there's nothing that you can do with people stealing your ideas and stealing your work, essentially. Because at this point where you're, it's usually lower level people. What I mean by that is it's small business owners who don't have anything. They're just trying to put things together and they can't think of their own ideas. And so they see what you're doing. And it's not even small business owners. It can just be individuals who are looking to start a hustle and they see, oh, well, you can do this. I can do it. Well, I can tell you, like I told our client today, the sun does not get mad when we go outside and we soak up some sun rays and feel better and happier and we go spread that happy and joy with everybody else around us. The sun doesn't get mad we soaked up its energy, took its joy. No, because it's radiant of a bunch of joy. And whatever little bit you couldn't handle all of the joy that that sun, that energy that sun can give you. And so that's the same thing and same mentality that we have, is that you can try to replicate us, boo-boo, all day long, but you aren't David and Tara. You are not the Hello LLC. And who we are, our integrity, our morals, what we stand for, what we will do, what we won't do, how we are, our authentic self, you can't replicate that. There's only one of us. And so that's cool. You can do what you want to do, but you can't do us, boo. And so, and that just pisses people off even more because then it's like, well, I'm going to show you. Okay, well then go do it. And if you do it better, wonderful. Congrats. Guess what? There's enough abundance in this world for all of us. So
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, just like we have one particular person that decided to go from a foot fetish business to all of a sudden they've now turned into the number one design person
That was
that
2 days after they had a conversation with me about design.
yeah, and that's just crazy that even the reason why we even say there's room for there's enough room for everyone is because that particular conflict and conversation turned into, well, this is mine and this, that, and the other. I'm like, there's nowhere in the world you can make the claim that you're number one in this, and you literally just came up with that idea 2 days ago. Then you went from foot fetish to this. And those type of instances is where you could decide to go back and forth with people, or you just let people be who they're going to be. Is exactly what Tara said. You're not going to be consistent, you're not going to be committed, and you're not going to be able to do the work that we do at the pace that we do it, especially with how we've been able to do it with other businesses. And so this is where you can't get mad, you can't get upset, just enjoy it. Even though at that time I was pretty upset when that did happen and how it came across. And so this is why we continue to share with you guys all to really be able to understand the importance of understanding, the significance of really covering your T's and C's, which is why in our Biz in a Box that we share with people that, hey, look, we can help you with the basics of your terms and conditions, because a lot of the times people don't know their terms and conditions, or what to do with their terms and conditions, especially right now with this new technology, with AI, with metaverse, with all these things that are happening. People just are unaware of how these things come across. And so we're going to continue to move on to the next, topic. Failures and rejection. Uh, this is something that I know for myself. It's huge, being that I am the person that goes out and gets our customers and has these conversations, and does all of our marketing and things of that sort, and does the upfront conversation with our clients. Is that I think a lot of the times people are afraid of that no. And we had a conversation with our member, or not even our member, our mentor is what I meant to say, Casey Salji, and he said something that was so amazing. He said, you'll never, or Alstein, he never, looked at, trying to create the light bulb and get it right. He looked at, how many times could he figure out the wrong way that it didn't work. And this is where we share with people, you'll never get 100 no's in a row. I guarantee you, you'll never get 100 out to people. And so often I see people that get mad at when somebody says a no. And I say I used to see people because I was that person, that I would get pissed off, I would get mad, I would get outraged when people would say no. But what I did realize is that if I had 100 people outside the door that I was willing to talk to, it didn't matter if that person said no. That was the wrong person, that I should have probably qualified a little bit more. B, that person probably wasn't, and B, that person probably, didn't know what they wanted. And a lot of the times, what I see now is that, people just don't know how to say no. And a lot of the times we make that to where that's our issue, to where we don't know how to say no. And we create that as a failure. And, looking back at our business over the last 8 years, we started this one organization called Glueds, with this gentleman, that we were going to go on this world tour of, global leadership university, developing, entrepreneurs and
Oh, we
strategies.
went on a
And
tour, all right.
yeah, we definitely went on a tour, and that was a complete failure. But looking back at the situations of the things that we learned, how to prepare, how to plan, how to adjust, and how to maneuver and strategizing these things, was so much valuable information that we use to today. And then moving on into the wellness and seeing the whole network marketing, and how the systems, and how the lack of communication, and how just people in general work within network marketing, that was huge. And we found out that failure was nothing more than people not knowing what they want. As we shared with you guys at the beginning, we would ask people, we literally had a system, right, where we would ask them, what is it that you want? What is it that your family wants? What is it that you want? Do you want help with that? Do you seriously want to do something about that? And people say yes all day long. And they wouldn't spend an hour. They wouldn't spend 30 minutes. They wouldn't, dedicate the time to the things that they wanted. And yet they would say it failed, or they would make you to be out the bad person, that you failed them, when all honesty it was them. And that plays out in not just network marketing, that plays out in a side hustle, that plays out in entrepreneurship, that plays out in enterprise, with not being able to effectively communicate and have the right expectations, laid out at the beginning. And a lot of the times we miss these points, and we allow ourselves to mind fuck ourselves, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
When people say I failed or failures, I'm like, well, what'd you learn? What's the benefit
Yeah.
of it? What from that failure, what can you do better the next time? And is your ass going to do it another time, or are you just going to sit back and say, "Oh, I failed," and revert back to the same shit? And that's what we tell people: we're either dying on the side of this damn mountain that we're going up, or we're making it to the top. But either way, there is no motherfucking retreat. And a lot of times people retreat and they go back down. That is failure, when you go back to shit that the shit didn't work at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, love.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I
So
mean, at
we're
the
on
end
the
of the day,
fourth one, on
yep. For the
failure
sake of
is what we're talking
uh-huh.
about. Yeah.
For the sake of time, since we're at an hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I don't have anything to add to that one, because at the end of the day, it's like you said, we made a pact. Most people won't go up the mountain, or they start up the mountain, but it gets too hard. They don't have the support system, because again, we just talked about the lack of support system, and it turns into, well, fuck this, I don't want to do it. And they, like you said, they go right back to where it's comfortable, because the human body is going to keep you in a state of comfortability instead of survival. And being outside your comfort zone by pushing the boulder up the hill is out of your comfort zone, and you're either going to push that boulder or it's going to push you. And so, we made that. There's many times that we have to have gut checks. We get gut checked all the time, but it's more empowering to show up and say, you know what, I'm still here. It might not be all fucking, sunshine and roses, but I'm still fucking here. So, let's get it. And that's where the true grit comes down to, it. But let's move on to technical debt, Mr. Jones, so we can be mindful of time.
Yeah, well, we technical debt is you motherfuckers not paying attention and you being stubborn.
Yeah.
Point blanks.
We no
Especially
longer
these
have eight
people.
tracks. We no longer have typewriters,
Yeah, a lot of people are still trying to stick and utilize this old technology shit, and not understanding that their asses laughed at Blockbuster and have been the same people sharing about Blockbuster and how, Netflix came to them. And little do they know, their asses is the next Blockbuster because they're not listening and they're not paying attention and they want to
Mhm.
hold on to old shit that doesn't work anymore. That's like you saying that I'm still using MySpace. That's literally where we're at right now with all these damn apps. I was in a room yesterday where somebody tried to compare a social audio room to Metaverse night and fucking day. Okay.
Mhm.
This is Metaverse. That is a concept of the experience of a metaverse of people gathering in a room, creating an experience, but it is nowhere near a
It's not an
3D immersive
immersive. Yeah.
environment that people
Yeah.
can do what we're doing in here. It is nowhere near. And this is where we share with people technical debt also is the people that you listen to and the surroundings that you surround yourself with. Birds of a feather flock together. And if you hanging around with chickens, your ass is going to be a fucking chicken, point blank. And a lot of the times what we find is that people are listening to chickens and listening to people that think they know about metaverse, leading you to a glorified Zelda slash, Zoom room, calling that, metaverse. And it's nothing more than just a damn box avatar with you being able to have your Zoom implemented into it and some regular, Uno bingo games. That is
Mhm.
not metaverse. And this is where, the confusion takes place, especially as we just did a whole tour, on what the differences are with metaverses. And still people will not listen. People will put their nose up. People will sit there and act like they don't know. And then when it happens, just like they will with this crypto, just like they did with, real estate, just like a lot of people right now are shitting in their pants when they talk shit about Bitcoin. And now it has an ETF attached to it. And now JP Morgan and BlackRock is calling your ass to invest into it. And so this is where people's pride and ego continues to stay in place and they're not busting a move. I mean, hell, there's people that still don't have their 2D in order, their website. They're utilizing a website they had before the pandemic and still talking about the same shit after the pandemic and not changing because they're too cheap, they're too scared, they don't know. Either way, it's a fucking excuse and you got to do something. So that's what I got on technical debt.
There's not much more to add at the end of the day. Again, we went from, 8 tracks to, CDs to cassette tapes to CDs to, recording and burning our own music now to digital music. There's an evolution of everything. And for people to say, nope, we've made it, we're in the internet era. No, it's, yeah, we're in the internet era. We're leaving the internet era, and we're going into the Web3 spatial computing era, where it will be technology is our life, where it makes it so much easier. And there's so many things out there that make it easier, life easier. And yes, there's a flip side of that coin where we have to be super a part of the technical growth that's happening, so that way we can maintain it for the greater good of all and not it, be built like the old traditional concepts were, where they really were built to constrain you, and so, or to control you. And so my point being on that is all those people that are sitting there not pushing the button, they're going to have to evolve. And I wish them well, because it's going to be a very difficult transition for them. But here's the thing. Here's the reality. Those people that won't push the button because of the technical debt, like, we're never going to make them push the button. They're going to be forced into it. And there are already people who don't take massive action in their life anyways. So them pushing a button to get into, Web3 and start building and thriving in Web3 and having that set up before the shit show happens, they're going to be in the shit. They're going to be the people that don't have the umbrella, that don't have the raincoat, that don't have the rain boots, that don't have the splash guards up for when the shit show happens. You know what I mean? And they're just going to have shit all over them. And that's, unfortunately, that's what it is. And that is what is in society. I mean, we can talk about Hobby Lobby. They made choices in their business to not upgrade and to, not adopt the SKU and a barcode, because the owner thought it was the mark of the devil when barcodes came out. And so didn't ever do that. And now they're, shutting stores and closing the company because their technical debt They can tell you it's because of their morals, or they don't want to do business anymore in the society because of their moral obligations, or, Christian moral obligations, or religious moral obligations, or whatever it is that they're sharing. But in reality, it's technical debt. They cannot get up on the board now and be um, sustainable after 2020. And it's just that debt's too big. It costs them way too much money. And so instead of investing in that cost, sell the company, let somebody else deal it, or just shut it down and take the profits. And so, technical debt's going to show up anywhere in life. And so with that said, push the fucking button. You apparently are president of the United States, and you have the nuclear bombs, codes to the nuclear bombs. So, in short, push the button. And with that said, Mr. Jones, you got anything else to add as we wrap this bad boy up today?
No, I think one of the major things that we want to remind people to do is really stop giving a fuck about what other people have to say. If you want to sum up, the bullshit that business owners have to go through, you
Yep.
hear that on a daily basis, whether it's through motivation, whether it's from other entrepreneurs. You've heard the shit before where you hear people say, just stop caring. And then especially as we get older, you really stop caring about what other people have to think and what other people have to say. And yet we still rely on caring about what the fuck people have to say. And as long as you're
Mm-hmm.
doing what you need to be doing, building what you need to be building, and continuously to be committed and consistent, the shit is going to work. And if the shit
Yep.
don't work, then what that means is that your ass ain't working, point blank.
Yep.
And that's where you really have to take, consideration of how this shit, plays a part and how it all happens at the end of the day.
Yeah, move across the stage and come back, boo. Yeah, so, at the end of the day, it's really just, taking that action. And most people don't take action in their own life, so it is what it is, and we're not going to get those people undone and unstuck. It's just they're going to be stuck, and that's, like they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, you know? And owning a business has been one of the greatest eye openers. I'll tell you this, short, sweet, and simple. Would I go back to corporate America where I was making over six figures a year? I could afford anything and everything, and we could live the life of, living for the weekend and go to and the 2 vacations a year, if that. Would I go back to that versus what I have now? No. Fuck no, because now I get to wake up. I'm my own boss. My only responsibility is to make sure our clients are taken care of in a in a way of integrity, and meeting the needs and the services that we provide. And outside of that, making sure my relationship with Mr. Jones is kosher. I don't have to answer to a boss. I don't have to be a part of a toxic workplace where, you're expected to work 2, 3, 4 different types of positions, but you only get paid for one. I don't, no longer work for a company that wants to cut your, pay when the pandemic comes around and never give it back, but they expect you to do more. Why would I want to go be a part of a community that is fucking you instead of supporting you? And that really is, I can do that on my own, and so the whole point is, would I go back to, making all of that money and dealing with all that shit? No, my life is so much, like, I noticed it the other day. I was looking at my face. I look really young for my age, and that's because I don't deal with the corporate stress and bullshit. When I was in corporate America, oh my God, I was looking at my face and the sagging, and I was like, I'm going to need Botox sooner than later, to keep this face in place. And I'm not a big fan of injecting shit into my face at all. And I will tell you, it was because of the way I was living. And it was more importantly, the stress, because I had changed a lot of my ways of living outside of work, but it was the stress that corporate career brought along. And so would I go back? Fuck no. I think about it all the time when we wake up on a Monday and Monday's our day off, and all those poor bastards that have to be at work on a Monday morning. I'm sorry for you, but you know what? You're not making the sacrifice I'm making. You're not the one that's went out, I don't get my nails done anymore. I don't get my hair done anymore because I'm making the sacrifice for my business because when our money is right and, we are multi-million billionaires, let me tell you, I can have my, nails done daily if I want to at that point. I'll take a short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain of the greater good for everyone and not just myself. And so at the end of the day, fuck corporate America. I would never go back.
You say it, girl. I like it when you talk dirty like that. Shit.
Gotta go. It's called getting naked for a reason.
It is called getting naked for a reason, girl. Your avatar look hot as hell.
I tell you.
But you're so spot
Just
on.
my
Though.
avatar?
Oh no! Oh shit! I put my foot in my mouth. No, we are in this.
I'm joking,
Now
baby.
look. Damn. Anyhow, gotta play him. Look, guys, we want to thank you all for. Yeah, got him, coach. So look, baby, I don't think there's nothing else that needs to be said. We're gonna end that shit right there. Fuck corporate America. And sorry for you guys that
Keep this pushing.
Are still in it, and that's why we take
No,
the
not
fuck
sorry,
off on
because they
Monday.
have the opportunity to go build too,
Yeah.
but they ain't willing to make that sacrifice.
Well, you said. Well, there is one thing I would add and share is you said the sacrifice is now, but their asses were out on Friday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep.
The first 5 years that we were in our damn business at the house,
Yep.
when we had all the opportunities to go out and do the shit, but we decided not to, and we sacrificed to do the shit that we're able to do now. Just like today, it was absolutely amazing being here in Mexico and seeing the thunderstorms roll in and out of the mountains to where I even did a video that, some days, it might look cloudy as hell, but, the same day it can be sunshiny like no other. And it's all what
Hey,
we
did you
bring
hear
to
that
the
whistling
table.
out there?
I did. That's that barbecue man trying to sell that old
That
shrimp
barbecue man.
on his grill. But,
How do you know it's old?
this is but this is where we share with you guys that look, we did the shit, we encourage you to do the shit, whether it's 10%, whether it's 20%, do something fucking different than you're doing now. And if we can do it, anybody can do it. And you can sell yourself on those bullshit ass excuses that you want to sell yourself on, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I giving this my all? Because your ass ain't gonna leave here with none of the shit that you praying and that you wishing for and that you hoping that you get all this materialistic shit. That ain't gonna mean
Hoping
nothing,
and
right?
wishing and praying.
Yeah,
And
that's not gonna mean nothing at the end of the day. It's gonna mean, it's gonna matter who you became and how far did you go up the mountain, or did you just settle for the traditional shit? And it just blows me away that
I thought
these
we were
same
parking our
people that
scooter.
we. Oh, you interrupting the shit out of me again, huh?
My bad.
But anyhow, as I was saying, this is where we encourage. You see, you fucked it all up. The show's over. Cut the shit. We done.
There's no love. There's no kindness. There's no integrity. There's no fuck you.
Fuck that shit.
No
We done.
nothing.
We out. We out. In the show. Cut.
End the show. That's it. Cut. Well, with that said, guys, thanks for being here. We greatly appreciate you. We will be
Bring
back
your
in
ass
2
on
weeks.
back here the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll have the Getting Naked. It's going to be every 2 weeks, so we'll be back in 2 weeks.
We're going to put some duct tape on Tara's fucking avatar is what we're going to do.
But,
fucking stick.
But, if you want to catch us next week for the more professional conversations that we have, come find us on Tuesday for our How To Tuesdays at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come find us on Wednesday for our Wisdom Wednesdays, for us to share some wisdom and all that good stuff. 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, same bat channel as all of them. And on Thursday, our Hello Pivot, that is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so with that said, Mr. Jones,
Lotto said,
I'm sorry, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. My bad. So with that said, other than that, catch us when you can catch us. Check out our social media. Check out thehellollc.io. Push the fucking button. Come in and check out our metaverse. As you can see where we are at today, we're up in the hot air balloon today. That's where our Getting Naked podcast is. So doing all kinds of things up here in the hot air balloon. But with that said, We're going to leave
Ooh,
them
I
with a
like
whole
how you
lot of
said that.
love. I
I like how
know.
you
We're
said
going to
that.
leave them with a whole lot of love
Kindness,
and integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment.
and consistency.
But until next time, people,
Toodles!
toodles! Thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Check you next time.